Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is Fatal. Hope everybody's been doing wonderful. So today we're going to be going over the Puretrak MF2 Meteor shower pad. Now for me, this was the most visually stimulating pad out of their whole lineup that they had. And personally, I just didn't care too much for the other looks on the other pads. To each his own. But today we're going to be going over obviously the Puretrak MF2. So if you guys are ready to get into this, we can start going over the dimensions and all of that good stuff. So if you guys are ready to go on this little journey with me, follow along the video and let's go. The Meteor shower pad comes in at a large size of 482 by 406. Your 482 is across, 406 up, and 4 millimeters in thickness, which is probably about your average thickness when it comes to most gaming pads. It's usually between 3 and 4 millimeters, and it's just about your standard size mouse pad for most gamers. Personally, me, that's where I'm at. You know, I don't really need a desk pad. This size is the size I use on a regular basis and is perfect for wrist aimers and mid to low sense players with just enough pad for good low sense without getting a whole desk pad. You know, nobody needs to get a whole desk pad unless they're just, you know, trying to make their desk look really good. So if you guys are looking for an average size mouse pad, this is probably the one to get. The pad itself is very comfortable to use and is very smooth to your hand and wrist. I get no irritation on my arm or wrist while we're using this pad. It's very non-abrasive. Now I can feel just a little bit with the stitching on the edge of it, you know, so personally I would love to see the stitching down just a little bit lower. I know that's kind of hard at some point, you know, but I think the stitching on the edge is probably just a little bit too big, should I say. But at the same time, it doesn't really bother my arm that much. And I guess if somebody has to get way up here like this, you know, it might start bothering them a little bit. So just keep that in mind when you're getting this this pad, if you decide to get this pad. And yeah, so I don't think you guys will have any issues with that personally. As for the glide on this pad, for the MF2, it's quite smooth, but there still is a small amount of static friction. As for stopping, there is still enough dynamic friction to stop when needed to stop. Honestly though, depends on the mouse skate you use. Personally, I use BTL skates that are between core and ice. So these skates that are on this particular mouse right here are the base skates that actually come on it. So I have not changed the skates on this mouse. It's got pure PTFE skates on this. It is the Orochi V2, and as you can see, it glides quite smoothly across this pad. There is a little bit of control to it, and you know, the static friction is there. So you're going to have a little bit of static friction when you take off with this mouse pad. If you're used to a really smooth mouse pad, this one is kind of a cross between speed and control. So it's going to, you know, it's going to depend on what kind of pad you want when it comes to your liking inside a game. So for FPS games, I think this pad's going to work out pretty good. It had a lot of good feeling to me while I was playing it for 2 weeks. I can't complain about it. You know, so if it's speed you want, this is a good pad, but it does not have super speed. Alright, so we'll get into comparison what pad I think it might be like a little later on in the video, but for now just know that it's part speed and part control. So the static friction is there, and it does have a little bit of dynamic friction as well to stop when needing to stop. So it's not going to keep moving after you get ready to do this stop on this pad, but it is going to have that kind of control that you need at the same time if that's what you're looking for. Now the base of this pad is made from a durable non-slip rubber that does not move around on my desk as I'm playing with it. Now I've actually removed stuff off of my desk and put this pad on there. The actual rubber on here is pretty damn close to the Lethal Gaming Gear rubber that they use on the pad, on their pads. and those pads do not move around the desk. I can almost promise you this desk is very smooth when I have this pad taken off of it, and this pad did not move around while I was gaming. At 4 millimeters thick, it is just the right amount of cushion to help when you need to press in on the pad and help with stopping hand and wrist fatigue. The pad is nice and smooth and has no bumps or waves in the pad that I could find, while I've been gaming with it. It comes out of the pad comes out of the box really nice and smooth, and it lays down flat almost pretty much right out of the box. But that has nothing to do with the base of the pad. So anyways, as for me, I like a pad with a little cushion for my long gaming sessions. So yeah, the base and the thickness is perfect, and if any of you guys like the soft stuff, then this is the way to go. As for humidity and stickiness when it comes to this pad, now I'm not a big sweater, but I'm sure some of you guys might be. I live in Louisiana personally, and the humidity can be quite rough here year-round, guys. This summer has been no exceptions. It's been super humid and hot, and I imagine most of you guys can attest for the heat that has been going around. I've been using the MF2 for over 2 weeks and have never had any issues with the pad slowing down or sweat from my arm causing any kind of stickiness. Now, with that being said, I do live in a controlled air-conditioned environment. If you don't have an AC, it might bother some. Meaning, if your arm sweats, it might start getting into the surface and start slowing down. So personally, if you sweat a lot, I could see this pad picking up a lot of stuff, and sweat and water and everything else, and eventually would probably start messing with the glide of this mouse pad. But I'm not an arm aimer, so this is about where I'm at 90% of the time. I have a Noble chair with arms on it and stuff, so my arm is not up here on the desk. My arm is actually planted on my my chair arm. So this is where my hands are usually at, so my arm is never on this pad, so I never have to worry about the sweat on this pad. So if you guys think you want to get this, as far as that goes, then I don't think you're gonna have to worry about any humidity at all with this mouse pad, unless you live in a tropical forest somewhere, then maybe. Personally, I don't think you guys are going to have that much trouble with this pad. Let's head on over here and check out the price of the pad. It's going to come in at $29.99. This is going to be the base price for this particular pad, which is a large pad. Okay, and now these pads actually come in, the MF2s actually come in some different sizes, but they're different prints. This particular pad is only going to come in large. Now, if you want the actual, to go over to the whole MF2 series, this one here is going to come in a XXL, which is, or actually XL, it's 914 by 406 by 4 millimeters, which is a desk pad. So you got the choice there for $29.99, or you can get it for $39.99. Now the next pad is going to be your MF2 Warrior that comes in a large. This comes, I believe the MF2 Tiger comes in only large as well. And then of course you have the MF2 Lovely Date. This one is going to come in an extra large as well. And the extra large for any one of these pads is going to be $39.99. And we've already checked this one out, which is the one I have. It's $29.99, only comes in a large. Now obviously they have the other pads. If you really want to go backwards and try out the MF1s, which is a little more controlling than the MF2, then I would suggest going back to the MF1 collection. They actually have some pretty good pads there, but I've never actually used the MF1. Eventually we'll get around to that. But these guys actually carry other things as well. If you need skates for your particular gaming mouse, they do have stuff like that too. Me personally, I would suggest going to Lethal Gaming Gear to get most of your stuff when it comes to your mouse skates and all of that good stuff. But you know, yeah, it is what it is. You know, you guys probably haven't. This ain't your first ball game. So basically, for me, at the end of the day, this pad is a really good speed slash control pad. Now, I can't really attest for the durability of this mouse pad because I don't really have the 3 to 6 months on this pad to use that it really needs to be used to see how good it's going to end up at the end of 6 months. But I feel like that's something you guys can probably tell me if you decide to get the pad or not. That's what the comments are for. And if you guys leave comments down there, you know, 3 to 6 months down the road on how good this pad held up, that can help Puretrak when it comes to knowing what they need to do different the next time they make a mouse pad. As for me, you know, I feel like 3 months down the road this pad is going to be doing just as good as it does on day one. But I just can't attest to that because I have to do so many reviews. I do not have time to put this on my desk for 3 or 6 months. But personally, from using it out of all the pads, I really enjoy the pad, you know, and I think you guys will too. But, you know, to each his own on that. I will have links at the bottom for you to actually get this pad if you're interested in it. It is affiliate links, so if you do use those links to get it, just know that it is going towards you know, supporting me and my channel. And don't forget as well, you can find me on Twitch. I've got links on my YouTube channel. All you gotta do is click on that link or click on my link tree. It'll take you to all my socials. And please, if you guys haven't done it already, hit that like and subscribe button because that really helps the YouTube algorithm. So with that being said, this is Fatal, signing out.